Hello and welcome to Financial Aid 101. I am your host, Corey Murphy. Take a couple minutes just to qualify myself as the speaker, give you the agenda that we're going to go over, and then we will jump right into it. Again, Corey Murphy, been in financial services since 2001 and specifically college planning since 2005. Presently serving as a manager for the College Funding Service Center. We have operations across the country, and our primary purpose is mentoring college planners and providing services to their families. We're proud to say that our proven systems help families make college affordable. And I am the mom of these two beauties, so I am right there with you, goosebumps and all. All right, so what we're going to cover today is Know Your Expected Family Contribution, or EFC, as it's commonly referred to. The purpose of that EFC, types and sources of aid that are available to us, our EFC and our aid eligibility, how to estimate those true costs, how to apply the forms and the processes, understanding our award letters, and then finally that how to pay. So a lot to go over. This is going to be a very good use of your time, so I'm glad that you're here. So first off, the term expected family contribution, or EFC, communicates to students and parents that this is how much we're going to pay for college. This is my college bill, and this is how much I'm going to pay to go to college, to enroll, to attend classes, to live on campus, to eat. It communicates that we can pick a college that I want to go to, and this is how much it's going to cost me. But no, stop right there. That is not the case. The EFC is not your college bill. Federal Student Aid, which is an office of the U.S. Department of Education, states your EFC is not the amount of money your family will have to pay for college, nor is it the amount of federal student aid you're going to receive. It is a number used by your school to calculate how much financial aid you're eligible to receive. So in other words, your EFC is a number that each college is going to use as a variable in an equation to calculate how much financial aid you're eligible to receive at their institution. So I know that's a mouthful. The EFC is a number the college is going to use as a variable in an equation to calculate how much financial aid you're eligible to receive or that you qualify for at their institution. And that equation looks like this. They're going to take their cost of attendance, they're going to subtract your EFC to determine your need or how much financial aid you're eligible for. The cost of attendance definition in that equation includes direct costs like tuition, fees, room and board, and indirect costs like books, personal expenses, transportation expenses. So the cost of attendance is the total of those, is the approximate amount of money a student is going to spend to attend that college for 1 year. So our EFCs are going to remain constant because our EFC is based on our family, but the cost of attendance will be different at each college you're considering. At a public school, the cost of attendance is going to range from $20,000 to $30,000. Okay. At a public school, the cost of attendance is going to range from about $20,000 to $30,000. At a private school, cost of attendance could range somewhere to $40,000 to $55,000. And at our elite private schools, we're looking at cost of attendance being $60,000 to $75,000. And these costs, because they are so high and climbing, make the college search and the student positioning strategies of college planning absolutely critical in the process of making college affordable. And I'm going to warn you, your student's EFC will make no sense to you when you see it. It is going to be higher than you expect it to be, and you're going to question the validity of the number and wonder what lunatic came up with this calculation. Okay. The EFC is calculated from information submitted on your FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, and the CSS profile form if it's also required by the colleges that you're considering to apply for financial aid. And you'll learn more about the FAFSA and the CSS profile forms as we move through some of the other modules in our site. So when we calculate the EFC, your family is going to fall into one of three categories. Category 1, you're going to have a $0 to $10,000 EFC. Category 2 is about $15,000 to $40,000 for those families. And then Category 3 EFCs are $40,000 or more we put into those categories. So what does that mean? What it means is that in a Category 1, when your EFC is $0 to $15,000 for your family, the college is going to do something like this. So if the cost of attendance is $25,000 and you have a 0 EFC, you're going to need about $25,000, or you're going to qualify for $25,000 of financial aid. Right? For a similar family where the cost of attendance is $25,000 and say their EFC is 10, the difference of those two is 15. So that family is going to need or qualify for $15,000 of financial aid. These families are considered to be need-based families at all colleges, public and private. Okay. Category 2 are the families that range from about $15,000 to $40,000. So what we know is at a private school, these families are considered need-based families, but at a public school, they may look more like merit-based families. So here's what I mean there. We have a cost of attendance of $25,000 and our EFC is 15. We might need a little bit here, but really the merit scholarships may be more lucrative and what we actually see come on our award letter. But at a high-priced private school that might be $60,000 with our EFC of 40, we're going to show that we need or qualify for $45,000 of financial aid. And then those Category 3 families where the EFCs are $40,000 or higher, generally the strategy is all about merit-based money at both public and private universities. And here's why. If we have a $40,000 cost of attendance and our EFC is $40,000, we're not going to demonstrate that we need any financial aid. We're going to feel like we need it. We're going to feel like we deserve it. But according to the college's math, we are not eligible for need-based financial aid. So our strategies are all about the merit money and the scholarships. Same goes at those high-priced private schools. They might cost $75,000. Our EFCs are $75,000. We don't demonstrate that we need any money according to the college's math, so it's all about the merit-based scholarships. After we go through these, the question always arises, can I reduce my EFC? And the answer is yes. There can be legal and ethical ways a family can reduce their EFC. Okay, maybe you can reduce your discretionary net worth that's showing on your forms. Maybe you are a business owner and you have the ability to reduce your total income. Reduce the student's discretionary net worth, reduce the student's total income. But if you can't reduce your EFC or it doesn't make sense to reduce your EFC because of tax consequences, that's not the end of the story. There are still opportunities there and we want to take advantage of. So your story begins with understanding more about the purpose of this EFC number. And that is, the purpose of the EFC number is to determine your need or how much financial aid you're going to be eligible to receive. So let's really talk about need and what that means. let's go back to this basic equation. Cost of attendance minus expected family contribution equals need, or the acronyms that we throw around a lot, COA minus EFC equals need. So the next question, are colleges obligated to meet all of your need? No, they are not obligated to meet all of your need, but they may be compelled to meet all of your need. I digress. We want to get back to the EFCs, and we'll get back to that compelling. The EFC can be very unique for a family. Okay, so here's family A. We have income of $60,000, college savings of $25,000, other savings $25,000, other real estate $50,000. There's 4 in the family, and there's 1 in school. And their EFC is $9,500 a year. Now here's family B, same income, same savings, same other savings, same real estate, 4 in the family, 1 in school, but their EFC is $19,000. Now you're shaking your head and wondering why. Why is because income from different sources is assessed differently on different forms and by each college. College savings, depending on where it's at, if it's in the parent's name or the student's name, other savings, other real estate. There's so many variables in each family's financial situation in the financial aid forms that this is why this EFC number is so important. We really want to wrap our heads around it, and it starts the beginning of everything. The other thing about this is here, $9,500 to $19,000, this is about a $10,000 swing. So this is not just 1 year. This is 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, a $40,000 difference in the amount of money that we'll pay for college. Now, if you have 1 kiddo, that's $40,000. If you have 2 like me, or 3 or 4 or 5, we're talking $40,000, $80,000, $120,000 potential difference in what we're paying for college just based off 1 variable in 1 equation. So I preach and teach that the EFC is the most important first step in all of this college planning, and this is why. So let's go into that. And the first question that every family wants to ask and should be able to calculate is, what is my EFC? And then the second question is, can it be any lower? Okay, because remember, the EFC is not how much you're going to pay for college, but it's a variable in an equation to determine eligibility for that need-based financial aid and those grants. Okay, cost of attendance minus EFC equals need. How much we're going to pay for college really turns out to be this. Cost of attendance minus the scholarships and financial aid equals our final college bill. So as your student prepares academically to go to college, we as parents, and why you're here, is we must prepare financially for them to go to college. So we have to budget, we have to save, pay down debt, we have to prepare our finances to cover our EFCs at a minimum. And then we have to work the college planning strategies that you're learning here to maximize scholarships and financial aid to keep this thing affordable. So when I started in private practice and working in college planning, I'd pick up the phone and the parent on the other end would ask, do you help with scholarships? And I would respond, no, and the call would end. What I didn't realize until later on was that the true answer to this parent's question and to your question and every parent's question out there is yes. Do we help with scholarships? Yes. Unequivocally, yes. Yes, because we and you can use all the strategies that you're learning here to help find money to pay for college. Scholarships are just the one strategy everyone thinks of first, so that's what they ask about. So let's talk about those strategies first. Okay. The first financial aid and scholarship strategy we're going to need to master is knowing where the money is and where it is not, which might surprise you. And then number 2 is to know how to go and get it. Okay, so where the money is, it's probably not exactly where you think it is. This is the most recent chart from College Board that shows from 17-18 where the money is. So the biggest pot of money that's available to us to help pay for college are federal loans. Okay, so all of you out there, raise your hand if you're here to learn how to get a federal loan to help you pay for school. No, you're not. We're not. The next biggest pot of money is institutional grants. This is where the big money is. This is the money that we want that comes to our kiddos for 4 years. That is a grant, a scholarship, a discount, free money that does not have to be paid back. This is where your focus is. And then Pell Grant, federal education tax benefits, private employer grants, state grants, veterans benefits, work study. Everything from here down is pretty much reserved for our low-income families, our Category 1, our $0 to $10,000 EFCs. Okay, if our EFC is higher than that, we're not going to see any of this money. And so, again, we're going after the money that's in the college's pocket. Okay. So remember, the largest pot of money available to your students to pay for college is in federal loans. $55 billion in loans are accessed every year to help pay for college. Okay. And again, is this the solution you were looking for when you started here? No. Of course it wasn't. The solution we're looking for is scholarships, grants, discounts. It's the same solution everyone out there is looking for, right? And then I'm going to say yes and no. Yes to the $47,900,000,000 in institutional grants and scholarships on our graph. Yes to this, but no to the scholarships most people are focused on, and no to the scholarships that our high schools are focused on. And I guess I don't mean actually no, as in never. I just mean not yet. Not yet, because these types of scholarships don't equal a large enough amount to even register on our graph. So they're not going to equal a large enough amount for you to really chip away at this college cost. The total amount of scholarships awarded each year is less than 1% of all the money that's available to you. So it's down here. Okay, so that's why I say no, not yet. Not no, never, just no, not yet. Okay, we'll talk about scholarships at the end of this presentation a little bit more, but let's really go after the big money first and then the crumbs. Okay, so more about where's this money? 4 and 4. I'm a little bit OCD and my staff laughs at me, but this is the best visual I've come up with over the years. There are 4 buckets of money, and they are awarded for 4 reasons. So need money is awarded for your EFC, family income and assets, number in college. Merit is awarded based on GPA, test scores, essay, extracurricular activities, things like that. The third bucket is talent, which could be voice, instrument, dance, debate, those types of talents, and then of course athletic money of all the conferences and the NAIA. So 4 buckets of money awarded for 4 reasons. The 4 buckets of money awarded for these 4 reasons now come from 4 different sources. So the federal government gives money. The federal money is always going to be a grant, a loan, or a work study, and is reserved for our most needy families. Our states have money, and that will come in the form of grants and loans, also reserved mostly for our most needy students. The colleges have money. We saw that on the graph with those institutional grants. Next to the federal government, the college has the largest bucket of money available to give to kids that they want to give it to. And that may come in the form of grants, scholarships, and some private college loans. And then there's private sources as well. And we can go and get private scholarships, again, that don't register on our form, on our graph. It's a very small percentage. And there are also private loans that I probably should have there. Okay, so let's get into the applications and how we apply for this money. And you'll recall we began with that EFC number, expected family contribution. And the definition of it is the minimum amount determined that you can pay for college. And it's calculated off one or more of these financial aid applications. So everybody's going to fill out the FAFSA. The free form, it goes to every college on your list that you are applying to for admissions and want to be considered for financial aid. The CSS profile is a second form that schools are, mostly private schools and a few elite public schools will require as well. You may see institutional financial aid forms and then verification forms. The FAFSA becomes available in October of your student senior year. And as I said, you're going to prepare the FAFSA to every school with tax information filed to the IRS 2 years prior to the academic year that your student is going to enter college. So if they're entering college in 2020, you're going to use your 2018 tax return. That's 2 years prior to the academic year that they're going to enter school. And then every student has to submit a FAFSA to be considered for federal student aid. The CSS profile form, these colleges may also require students to submit this form to be considered for additional aid awarded by their college. So this is that institutional money that they may award. The CSS profile is more in-depth than the FAFSA. It's going to ask questions about home equity, retirement, business information. And when a college is considering awarding their own institutional money, they obviously are going to want and require more information than what's reported on that FAFSA form. We may also come across institutional financial aid forms. And again, the college is going to want to go deeper, asking for additional information than what's provided on the FAFSA and the profile. And you will find the more generous the college is with their institutional aid, the more financial aid forms they're going to require to be considered for that aid. And then when your student is accepted to a college and all financial aid forms have been submitted, your student is going to receive an award letter from each college. Now that may come in the form of an actual letter, it may come in an email, it may come with instructions to log on to that college's portal to view the award. Every college is going to do that differently. Be prepared. Every award letter that you receive will include a direct student loan. You may not consider loans to be financial aid, but our colleges do. And then every award letter may also include a parent loan for undergraduate students, or a PLUS loan is what that is otherwise known as. And then you're going to analyze your awards. So you're going to read them thoroughly, look for all the details, highlight the scholarships and grants. This is the free money that you don't have to pay back. You're going to highlight the loans and the work study. We call that the self-help money that you work for or that you do pay back. And then you're going to calculate your net costs to attend each school. So you're going to take that full cost of attendance. If it isn't printed on the award letter, you can go to collegeboard.org and grab that number from them. You're going to subtract all your scholarships and your financial aid, and then you're going to get to your net costs. So you might build yourself a spreadsheet, something like this. Here's the full cost of attendance. Here's our EFC. Here's our need. And then this college offered us $41,500 in grants and scholarships, for example. Loans and work study, $8,500. need met 50, and you can get this detailed, or we can just go cost of attendance minus the grants and scholarships, minus the loans, leaves us with $15,000 of net costs. Okay? And you'll do this for each school across. Now remember, your cost of attendance does include books and transportation expenses. Some families just like to calculate costs based on tuition and room and board. So if that's the case, it's just tuition, room and board minus the grants and scholarships, and then what's the difference? So we're looking at about 24,500, 23,500. So however you want to work that out with your family, build yourself a spreadsheet like this. Take your full cost of attendance, or just the direct costs minus the scholarships, the loans, get your net costs, and then you have all information in hand, and it will be very likely that you have a clear winner, that one or more colleges are being especially generous, want your student, and offering a very fair, if not above average, award letter. And it feels great. So when you get to that point, congratulations, job well done. And then you have one more final step. At that point, that step is to calculate how that final college bill looks like, and then finalize how you're going to pay for it. Okay. You might do something like this in an Excel spreadsheet or on a piece of paper. Here's for 1 year at each school, and here's for the full year, our tuition and fees, our room and board, and then grants, scholarships, each of the sources, and then the loans. So this school, for example, is on semesters. So when a school is on a semester, they're going to do 2 billings, one for fall semester and one for winter semester. So we break this down in half, in half, and in half. And then any scholarships and grants or loans, subtract half, half, half. And then the net amount is going to be the balance that's due to the school. Now, they're not going to want the full year all at one time. Rather, they're going to split it up into semesters. I mean, they'll need or want that bill paid for by the start of the semester for your student to enroll in classes. And then down here, we have those discretionary expenses here in blue for books, miscellaneous expenses, and then if there's any work study or work program, we can subtract that from there. So books and supplies, I just have here the 2 numbers because those costs are going to get incurred at the start of the semester. And then our miscellaneous stuff like shampoo and pizza and laundry, that comes each month. And we do it over 10 months because that is the college academic year. And when we get down to this point, colleges are going to offer families an option to pay with a combination of sources of income, savings, and education loans. At this point, the college really doesn't care how you pay the bill, just that it gets paid. And specific loan options available to your family will appear on the award letter from each college. Now, when you have a professional college planner and you've set up a college financial plan, you know exactly how and when to pay these remaining amounts from income, savings, or loans. And if you don't have a college financial planner and you've not set up a college financial plan, it's not too late at this point. Really determining the most efficient way to pay for college, the best loans to use if you do in fact have to use those loans, pulling from savings in the most efficient manner to maximize that. All of those financial planning strategies will save you thousands of dollars later on your retirement and long term. So a few questions to ask yourself as we close up this workshop. Do completing financial aid forms just make your skin crawl and keep you up at night? Do you have complicated financials? So that might make this all a little wonky. Are you just nervous about filling forms out accurately? do you have a full-time job and feel like this is a full-time job on top of what you already have? And then do you just need or want that peace of mind that you've done everything that you can for your kiddos along the way?